Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with thanks for giving us this opportunity to represent our city and our neighbors. We ask for your guidance as we look at what's on the agenda and make decisions in everybody's best interest. We also thank you we come to you as we start to celebrate the holidays and remember what all this is about and spend time with their families, and ask those that are traveling that you keep them safe and watch over us all. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you very much. If you haven't silenced your cell phones, I would ask you to do that at this time. Before we get started, I want to note that Tony Stubblefield has lost his father. He passed away, Monday, I believe it was, whatever it was, but that's why Tony won't be here tonight. And also in that family, Don Griffin, who was a mayor at one time, serves on our water board today. He lost a grandson in Granbury this week. So that is also Tony's wife's nephew. So that connection is Don's son-in-law. So that connection of that family, the Griffins and Bittners, remember them in your thoughts and prayers. And a horrible time of the year to lose someone. It's always bad, but this time of the year really does hurt and make it tough. Michael J., you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to express my thanks for the city in their response to my recent, I guess you could call it ailment. You don't know how important it is until you feel like your life is on the line. And I completely passed out in my living room. The next thing I knew, I woke up and there were like 8 people in my living room. And I'm going, oh my God. And it was our fire department and our EMS people. And they were on a stick. They started jabbing me and putting stuff in me and rushed me to the heliport and got me off to Harris Hospital. And I just want to say my appreciation for the response, professionalism, the way things rolled out, how it was taken care of. And, you know, when you're in that kind of situation, you can see in the eyes of these people, you know, they're servants, they're first responders, and they're doing the very best that they can. And I am emotional about it, but I thank, you know, our first responders, and they saved my life. So, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate our first responders and EMS for the job that they do. Glad that you're back with us. A little scary time for you. Next item is a public comment. I don't have anything in front of me for public comment. We've got the minutes of the previous meeting of November 17th. Entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
We do have one correction. Shirley wasn't present, so we need to get her off the present list.
She's off the present list, but she's also on the absent list, so I have corrected it.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Cool. Other than that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
A motion from Tom and second from Michael J. to approve the minutes of November 17th. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You've got a finance report in front of you. And the pressure's on now, Lindsay. You can do it this time. You can do it every time. Thank you. Wow. That's impressive. Good numbers. To get the year started, and sales tax is moving right along, and that's good. So, we're very fortunate. Everything else, it's good. I'm watching the percent income. It was 30% at this time last year, only 22% now. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a matter of when the checks get in and everybody pays their tax bill early to get the discount. So that's fun to watch that. But that was just interesting. Y'all remember last month it was like 5% last month. So that had me gasping for air trying to figure that one out. Just the way the numbers are coming in. I don't know. Anybody have any questions about the financial report?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. You have a draft of the ordinance 26-927 regarding the tiny homes. That's what Tom requested last time. There's no action to be taken, but that is a homework assignment. We can read that, and what will be on our next agenda in January. Our next we have a meeting next Thursday, so we'll be in the January meeting to talk about this. But Tom wanted us to have it ahead of time so we can look over it good and have any questions and be prepared to talk about it in an intelligent fashion. So there it is. So you got that for homework assignment. So.
And just so you know, that prior to it coming to City Commission, P&Z has to hear it and go through it. So if you can, give me your comments as soon as possible. And then we can schedule the P&Z meeting and make any changes that we need to present that prior to that.
You got any thoughts? Get them to you as soon as you can.
Yes,
when is their meeting? Do they have one?
We don't have it scheduled yet because I wanted
We
to give
think
you
it's
time.
gonna be the 6th,
The 6th.
we think,
I'm trying to give time to
Monday.
toss this up.
It's the first Tuesday.
Okay. We'll get it. Everybody got that, so if we can
It's
get
like
it to her
2
by the
weeks.
first of the year, as soon as we get it there. All right. Thank you for providing that. That'll be good.
Thank Tony for getting that to us.
Yes.
Good reading over the holiday. All right, the Board of City Commissioners may discuss and take action on the following agenda items. Item number 1, discussion and consideration of using hotel motel funds to assist Ranger College in bringing the Vietnam Memorial Wall, and also known as the Wall that Heals, to Ranger on April 21st, 2026 through April 26th, 2026. Savannah, what's your thoughts?
I think Miss Helen Cozart is here if you want to let her give her spill on it. And then any questions we can.
Go ahead and some more of these out. So we're bringing the wall into, most of you remember when it was here 8 years ago? And it's.
How long ago was
It
it?
was 8 years ago.
8 years.
Yes, and so it's the exact same thing. It's a really big project. And more than just, I've had you at a couple other meetings, haven't I? And so there's several things I want to ask for. One is money, of course, because that'll make everything easier. We have a lot of things we have to buy, like advertising, banners. We have to get porta potties and stuff like that. So money's going to be helpful. We are going through the Chamber of Commerce as well, both here and in Ranger, to work with some of the businesses to get in-kind types of things, so we don't need quite so much money. But there's other things as well. We need the volunteers. And there's a page in here about volunteer opportunities. This is going to take over 200 people. And so I have a little QR code on the back where if you just can kind of share the word that people can come out for shifts, because it has to be manned 24 hours a day during the time it's here. And many of you may have been volunteers last time. I know I was out there. And a lot of our veterans are also really good for going out there. So if you know veterans that'll come out and do some volunteer work. This other page called In Memory, this is something I want to get the word out about as well, because once a person comes home from Vietnam and then later dies, they are still considered, to be an important Vietnam veteran, And the Wall That Heals travels with an education center that displays pictures and little biographies of the people who have come home and since passed. My dad did this, we put him on there 5 years ago. And in August, I went out to see the wall in Wiley. And when I walked up to the thing, there was my dad's face. It was just unbelievable how emotional it was when I just walked right up to it. And there he was being scanned through all of the other Texas veterans that show up on that. But this is not a quick process. In order to get somebody mentioned in there, there's a process that has to be done. And there's some items that are listed. So we need to try and track down some of these people who have passed and start getting this paperwork done. It all has to be submitted by the middle of March. And I don't know if any of you guys are veterans or not, but this is something that we need to get the word out to our veterans and to the veterans' families, because it's the families that have to do this. And we have a contact that's going to be helping people put help them with the documentation. They do not have to just try to figure out how to do this all themselves. We've got John Stanton. He can go out, and his job will be to help them get the paperwork together and stuff. So those are two things. The in memory and the volunteers are the super important things. And then, of course, I don't know how much it brought in last time it came through here. But we all know that Ranger has no facilities. We have one restaurant. And that's, everybody who comes is going to end up coming to Eastland to get their hotel if they stay overnight, and definitely their foods. So I'm hoping that's why we're here, that Eastland will be able to help us a little bit with some of the funding for advertising and things. And that's kind of all I have.
What is your total cost of this? I saw that.
So the total cost for the exhibit itself, just to bring it here, is $12,000. They estimate another $12,000 is what we need to gather in donations to pay for things like advertising, porta potties. There's going to be volunteers that we have to provide for. We have to buy water and snacks and things like that to take care of the volunteers. So they estimate another $12,000 in expenses, signage, stuff like that.
Have you been to anyone else yet, or are we first on the list?
No, you're like 8th on my list. I've been to all of the committee meetings I can find. I've been over to the Ranger City Council 3 or 4 times now. I'm on their agenda every month between now and then. And so, the school boards are also an important part of it that we're going to, because they do tours, and we're hoping to get the kids out of school to bus over there and take the tour through there. So we're also hitting all of the school boards. We had Ranger School Board is tomorrow or the next night. I've forgotten which, but that's coming up real soon. And they're all, my whole calendar, just, I've never had a calendar this full in my entire life visiting, all of you guys. I've been to the Chamber of Commerce meetings and things like that.
Has the Ranger City committed anything yet?
They have not committed anything.
And
I
about
think
the
that
Ranger College?
Yes, Ranger College actually has already paid the $6,000 deposit, and they are committed, unless somebody else does it, to pay the other $6,000 to bring it here. So we're really just looking for $12,000 more, and it's in kind or in cash. And I've been loath to ask for a specific amount because that just feels terrible to me. So I think that's why Ranger hasn't committed much, because I haven't said, hey, give me $2,000, And I hate to do that. I hate to say, give me $1,000 or whatever. That just makes me feel icky. So I didn't want to do that for you guys either.
Okay. Any comments, questions from the city manager?
I mean, my recommendation is to give the $6,000 to be able to have it brought into the county, and then anything else, if there's another need that we can meet or something, maybe in the future she can come back if there's something that's lacking. But I know that when Terry Simmons said that when they brought it in to buy F&M Bank, that there were people that stayed overnight for that, and the people that bring it in.
Yeah, there'll be at least 5 people who do stay overnight.
Yeah.
There's a crew.
In our hotels.
It's here how many days?
It arrives on the 21st, which is the arrival day, and then there's a setup day on the 22nd. It's open to the public on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So it's actually in town for 6 days. And then it leaves Sunday after 2 o'clock.
So your recommendation is $6,000?
Yes, sir.
That is much more generous than I expected, and you have no idea how much appreciated it
We
is.
surprise ourselves sometimes. What's your thoughts?
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, if there's plenty there to do it.
Savannah is loaded.
Okay, well, Christmas is coming up.
That's right, that's right.
Do you know Lindy Matthews over at the college?
Yes, it is.
She is our budget manager for this project. So she's the person you would coordinate with to get that in motion.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we make a donation, or not donation, but we provide $6,000 towards securing the wall and bringing it into the county for this event.
Out of hotel motel fund?
Out of hotel motel fund. Yes.
I'll second that.
Motion from Tom and a second from Shirley to provide $6,000 in hotel motel fund to the Wall of Hills in Ranger. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much. Y'all, just much more than I expected. Thank you.
We can take some back.
No. That just takes a huge weight off my shoulders.
Well,
It's
It's a lot of work. Appreciate you doing it. It's a neat, pretty neat.
It's been the biggest project I've ever worked on, that's for sure.
So then one thing I'd like is when we do provide this for certain things that are coming into the county or city or county, see if we can pull a report or get a report of what increase we see in beds being booked and whatnot at the different hotels, be it this or other events, so that we can start creating a historical of how these events impact.
Is it worth it? Well, yeah, exactly.
I think it'll just help substantiate our decisions in future discussions like this, whether it's yours or when we did the roping competition or other things that have come up that'll help us in the future.
Okay, item number 2, discussion and consideration of using hotel motel funds to assist the Lyric Arts Center with a community event December 11th through December 14th. And a fine event it was. What are you thinking there, Gary Ford?
Well, I'd like to say a few things about the event, if I may.
If you may what?
If I may say a few things about the event,
Yeah.
which of course this event has happened at this point. We had 5 shows, Thursday, Friday, 2 on Saturday and Sunday afternoon. 32 actors involved in that production, 3 directors and 14 crew. So there's a big crowd, about 54 people involved, with a few more coming in at times for just brief appearances over the last couple of months, helping us with various things. So it was a lot of folks. We did sell out. We sold 471 tickets, which we consider that. We capped our ticket sales at 90 for Thursday for all the evening shows and the Sunday afternoon show. And the Saturday morning show we kept at 60 because it was a special sensory show for people who may not be comfortable in loud, noisy places. And so that gave us, on most of the evenings, about another 10 or 12 seats that we actually had available to take care of people that came to the door that hadn't purchased ahead of time. So all in all, it was great. It was a great show. Just a little bit more information. We had 5 actors in the show that were residents of Rock House, if everybody knows what the Rock House facility is. And we had 26 residents and 10 staff from Rock House attend the show on Saturday morning. We had 35 full costumes that we rented. Most of those were rented. And what we learned was we didn't start out to have 32 actors in the show. We had such a overwhelming attendance of volunteers for auditions that we were able to cast many more parts than we expected. So there were really very few parts that the same actor did 2 different parts. We still had some of that, but we were expecting a lot more. And so we ended up needing a lot more costumes. And then of course they're all Victorian costumes, which of course we really don't have much of. We didn't build ourselves. We did build some costumes. We had 3 people sewing regularly for about a month. And so that's really what we needed the additional funding for, was to help us cover our expenses on renting costumes. So all that will go back this week.
Where do you rent them from?
We rent them in Fort Worth from a place called Magic, etc.
That there in Forest Park?
That's just, sure is, right off I-30 or so. And it's a wonderful store. If no one's been there, it's just, you can't but have a smile on your face going in that place, because it is exactly, it's full of magic and costumes. It's crazy. And they do give us a really good deal. I mean, they really are supportive of community theater, so we probably got $1,000 worth of costumes that we didn't pay for, because they would give us extras. You know, we did a lot, and then hats and scarves and shoes, and all that. Just throw a lot of stuff in, and they really work with us a lot. We usually can go in and say, we've got a budget. We have, $3,000, or we have $2,500, and that's all we have to spend. And they'll usually, we can walk out of there with everything we need. So they're really good to us. So it's really nice. The other thing I might mention is I had been telling people during the show that this probably represented about 2,800 hours of volunteer effort. I was really wrong about that. I went through the numbers today. We had our volunteers keep timesheets, and they're not all in yet, but we're pushing 3,800 hours a volunteer. We have about 100 hours per volunteer for this show. I mean, it's just crazy. This is the biggest one yet. And I did do a quick and dirty analysis of where the ticket sales came from, because I think it's always really curious just to know. So we had people from Arlington, from Azle, from Bellingham, Washington, Breckenridge, Brooksmith, Texas, wherever that is, Carbon, Cisco, DeLeon, Dublin, Eastland, Electra, Flint, which is near Tyler, Gorman, Hermeli, La Plaza in Mexico, Lubbock, Natalia, Olden, Pierce, Pueblo West, Colorado. Pierce was in Colorado. Ranger, Rising Star, Strawn, Rutherford. There were at least 8 actors that had family from out of state that came into the show. So that was bringing people to town. And
That's
providing,
that's amazing.
providing a wonderful show for all the cities. I just wanted to give a little bit of information.
And that background, what the type of thing Tom's talking about, knowing where these folks come from.
Absolutely.
Several of those locations you mentioned, they spent the night somewhere.
Absolutely.
They didn't go back home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's neat. That's a good deal. And you're asking for $3,000?
I did not put that in, and we actually didn't know we were on the agenda, and I just happened to see this today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're on the agenda tonight. And so,
Well, it says you're asking for $3,000
That sounds
Hotel tax fund.
Do you have a sense of what your P&L was for the event?
no, we don't have the numbers in yet. We're too swamped with work. I can tell you next month at the meeting, and I would love to do that, but I don't know. But I know we spent more money than we budgeted. I transferred money twice into the bankhead account in order to cover more.
It was a great performance. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was
Well
great.
done.
Yeah, we're usually hit things pretty close, but we didn't hit this one very close. And a lot of it was just because we made it bigger. You know, once we reached the halfway point of getting there, it was obvious that it was going to be good. And it was just like, we just need that. We got to have a better costume for
It's good.
Anyway.
Great stuff. Thank you, Gary, for being here. Appreciate what you are doing at the Lyric. That's great work. Entertain a motion. What else thoughts?
I'd make a motion that we fund the $3,000 to the Lyric for this event.
Out of Hotel Motel?
Yes.
A motion from Michael J. to use Hotel Motel money for $3,000 to the Lyric for this.
I'll second that.
A second from Shirley. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank y'all. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna
Thanks,
set
Gary.
it out.
Item number 3, discussion and consideration to amend and adopt the City of Eastland procurement policy.
In this policy, the city already has one adopted, but we are having to update this policy to satisfy for the GLO grant that we're applying for the comprehensive plan.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
on page 3, the first paragraph where it says the city of Eastland follows state of Texas and federal laws, that paragraph was updated. And then on page 4, requirement for bids on capital expenditures. Effective September 1, 50,000 went to 100,000. And that's updated there for competitive bidding on page 4 of 13. Those are the only 2 things that were changed from the original to what's in front of you.
On page 4, what did you say? I'm sorry.
On page 4, requirements for bids,
Okay.
number 1, that went from 50 to 100, and that's state law. So I updated ours to reflect that.
Okay. Anybody have any other thoughts or questions? You read through this, and makes sense to me.
I'll make a motion to amend and adopt the City of Eastland procurement policy as presented.
I'll second that.
A motion from Tom and second from Michael J. to adopt the Eastern procurement policy. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 4, discussion and consideration of resolution 2025-19, a resolution to approve and award a contract to Langford Community Management Services for grant administration and project management services related to the City of Eastland's CDBG GLO MIT Resilient Community Program RSP and all that good stuff, grant and authorize the city manager to execute all related documents.
In front of you, we've put out bids to receive a grant managing firm for this grant and Langford Community Grant. Langford Community Management Services was the only one that put in, and so that's what's in front of you, and my recommendation is for it to be awarded to Langford.
Does anybody else even do this? Because they always.
That's what I was
They
wondering.
do.
It's always like,
We're required to send out to at least 5 other firms, and I did that. One of them responded that they received it, but they didn't. I guess they don't want to do it.
Where do you send, like to Fort Worth, Abilene? Where?
Different places, yes.
Okay.
There's an email list of ones that you can send them to, and I've emailed and.
Well, they've always been good about responding and taking care of it, so I don't have a problem with them. I'm just curious because it's always them. Okay.
all right, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-19, awarding a contract to Langford Community Management Services for grant administration of the CDBG-GLO-MIT Resilient Communities Program Grant, and to authorize the city manager to execute all related documents.
I'll second.
Motion from Shirley and a second from Tom to approve resolution 2025-19. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay, item number 5. Discussion and consideration of first reading of ordinance 25-925, an ordinance of the city of Eastland, Texas, amending chapter 19, zoning, article 1, zoning ordinance of the city of Eastland, code of ordinances by revising section 19-11, permitted uses to allow tattoo and body piercing studios as a permitted use in the local businesses C1 and general use business C2 districts, and in the light of industrial L1 and heavy industrial H1 districts by right, providing repealing and severability clauses and providing an effective date. And now, who can answer questions about the map?
Go for it.
Okay, I see in yellow, the C1 and C2 zoning. Is the pink the commercial or the L1 and H1?
No. The first map is areas that are in yellow are light industrial and heavy industrial.
Okay.
So everything is in the pink or red is C1, C2, where it would open and allow. Those are all the commercial zones.
Right now, where are they at?
Only in the yellow on this first map. We've
Heavy
had
industrial, is that what that is?
heavy and light, yes ma'am.
Heavy and
We've had the request come up. We have a business that wants to come to town, and she wants to have her studio in a building on Main Street, but right now what we have on the books does not allow that. So P&Z heard the case. P&Z recommendation was to approve it, obviously contingent on City Commission voting on that. So if City Commission votes to approve that, it would be considered allowed in C1, C2, and same for LI and HI. So in your business areas of town. These are governed by the state. They do have to have state licensing. I mean,
that's what I was going to ask. Do they have inspections and that sort of thing?
By the state.
Why does it have to have a specific use in L1 and H1, but not in C1 and C2?
We did not put it in C1 and C2. It is under L1 and H1. We didn't put it under C1 and C2 because it's like any other business. You don't require them to have one.
I noticed it's a Woodland now. Those people out there can start doing a tattoo business.
Good.
There you go. Okay.
Are there any other questions with that?
I'll make a motion to approve on the first reading ordinance 25-925, amending the zoning ordinance to allow tattoo and body piercing studios as permitted use in local business C1 and general business C2 districts, and in light industrial LI and heavy industrial districts.
And that should say H1.
H1.
Okay.
districts.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
A motion from Tom and a second by Shirley to approve ordinance 25-925. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 6, discussion and consideration of first reading of ordinance 25-926, an ordinance of the city of Eastland, Texas, repealing and replacing ordinance 25-915, adopting and amending a comprehensive rate and fee schedule establishing rates and fees to be charged for services, providing a repealing clause, providing a severability clause.
So we have received a rate increase letter from Eastland County Water Supply District and a rate increase letter from Waste Connections. Unfortunately,
Does that mean we're drinking too much and throwing away too much stuff?
that's the cost of living, unfortunately, I guess. Eastland County Water Supply District, at their October regular meeting, they set the rate at $5.75 per 1,000 gallons. It's currently at $5.09, so that's 13% increase, and then the Waste Connections increase is 3.5%. In front of you, you have a sheet that looks like this. It's highlighted with yellow. This is the water rate calculation worksheet. We went through and crunched numbers and crunched numbers and crunched numbers. So last year we did the 17%. Across the board, we split it up and in between inside and outside and over the 2,000 base gallons. So this is kind of the same, but we did on the base rate 8% increase, and then on the anything over 2,000 gallons at a 4% increase. So the new base rate for water inside city limits is $70.78, outside is $78.93. Anything over your first additional 2,000 gallons for each additional 1,000 would be $8.93. Outside of city limits would be $9.78. And your water districts in EBA are increased at the same percentage that the residential rate increases, and that's per the contract. So that's why those are listed there like such. In here, you should also have an extra handout that's your trash rates. Did it get put in your packet?
I don't
I
see
didn't
one.
see it. I didn't see it.
I'm not gonna give it to Roma. In your packet, on page 6
Of the ordinance.
of the ordinance. Sorry. Yep, right there.
I did.
Page 6.
Page 6 of the ordinance. Section 1300-2. Solid waste collection rates is at the top. The current pricing is at $21 for one polycart, so it would be $21.74. Commercial goes to $29.43, and it was $28.43. And then $55.86, $57.82, and then $101.55. And each of the dumpsters increases 3.5% across the board.
What did you say the residential currently is?
21. If you want to look at that, you can.
It says 21 now.
That's 21.74.
Right.
It was 21 even.
That's
Oh,
21
okay.
even.
That's another 74 cents.
Yes.
Yes. I think that increases, if you just have a regular polycart can, I think it's like $10 for the year.
It's how much a year?
I think it's under $10, like $9 and some change a year.
What's the extra? I don't like if you have an extra can. I say can, but
2 residential cans.
No, yeah, I think is it 15?
for each one or
I'll have to get it
for
to
each
you.
additional?
Yeah. I don't know that it's 15, actually, now that I
That
told you
sounds
that.
high.
Yeah.
It
I'll
used
get
to
it
be
for
like
you.
5, I
I
thought.
think it was 5, yeah.
Is it still 5? I think it's still 5. I'll get you an answer.
Okay.
I'll send it to all of y'all. Sorry. Actually, let me see if it's on this letter that they sent me. No, it's not on this letter that they sent me. It's 3.5% increase for whatever it is, so.
Or shouldn't that be listed on here if you have extra cans or so much?
Yeah, that would be so.
I would think so.
I guess, but it never has been listed ever in the past, because this is the same ordinance, it just changed numbers.
Yeah, it should be in the ordinance.
Each additional agent employee is engaged with this license
That's
permit or
peddlers.
something else. Yeah, why don't we add that? Why don't y'all we'll approve this, if everybody wants to do that, we'll approve this with that update, so y'all can go and
Okay.
update and not wait on us. Is that okay, Commissioner? To
Yeah, I'm good with that.
add that, whatever an extra can costs for commercial or residential. There's commercial, I guess, is there 2 cars, is that what that is?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. I don't know why it's not spelled out for residential
Okay,
I hate to see our water rates keep increasing, because, I mean, it's hard on everybody, but is it necessary to go up that much?
Their increase was 13% and we have a 12%. So we're eating 1% of it already. And I will tell you that if we don't sell any water over the base, then you're in trouble, because that's where you're
We
gonna.
will, I mean.
You will, unless you go on a drought and you have to shut everything down. That's the gamble. I mean, we were just there for over a year.
well, you go on a drought or you have a really lot of rain. There's a middle ground we've got to shoot for. It's crazy business. You want the phone numbers of people on the water board? I can get that for you.
It just seems like there was a time when
It
it
stayed
was
steady.
discussed about if we ever got to the point that
Trey, would you like to speak? I didn't realize you were here.
ever got to a time that we were making more than what we were needing to pay out. That way we could level out off on the rates. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not to that evidently.
Mm-mm.
I will say to that comment, if we remember 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago probably, we were in the red in that and had to support, as much as I remember one time, $200,000 from the general fund to support the utility fund. When JJ got here, he started getting those numbers up. And that's where we are. And I would say, once we get some history and we know what we're doing, we might be able to level that down a little bit. Like, instead of going up 13%, go up 8% and let that flatten out a little bit. So we're not trying to get rich off of it. We still got to run our business and have some money to take care of when something breaks. But I agree with your comment, and I'm sure we're going to be looking at that. But we were in the red for several years. You will find the past history, and we come back at the end of the year and have to make a adjustment, and that's what a lot of it was about. We were in the red in that utility fund. It wasn't pretty. So, and Ranger was in financial trouble 10 years or so ago, however long it's been. They literally couldn't pay bills. They'd have to look in the jar and say, okay, we'll pay this bill this month. And their biggest problem, they weren't charging near enough for water. They were upside down really bad and got that fixed. So, we're aware of that, and I agree. And it's painful for all of us.
So
We joke about the water board, and they don't like doing this either, because they're doing it to themselves too. We passed it right along to him. All 4 of them they have to live in the city to be on the water board, so anything they do, they pay for right along with us.
So if it's somebody that just uses the minimum 2,000 gallons a month, it's $5.98 a month. That's with the trash rate going, that percentage going up too.
Did they provide any summary as to why that went up 13%?
They did. Their budget, rising chemical costs, maintenance for the water plant. They have a contingency fund that they fund for their maintenance and such. Anything else?
It's just the general cost of doing business. Everything's going up. You know what chemicals are doing everywhere.
Right.
Chemicals are killing them.
And
Can I say something?
Sure.
Also, by bylaws, there's a rolling 5-year usage of water. And we have to go with the year that is the lowest amount of usage. As Larry said, in a perfect world, we have a happy medium, but we went with a really good year this past year. That became we're stuck with that number of the low water use for the next, until that one rolls off. So at least 5 years. That plays a big part in it. Another thing is, the water board did not raise rates when they should have raised rates for
for several years. The water board got sued. We went to a mediation process, and the mediator came out and said, y'all should be charging way more than what you're charging, and we're nowhere near that amount. But I can assure you, I'm on the budget committee, and we spent a lot of time gnashing teeth trying to keep it as low as we could. And I pay the same thing. I don't get free water. I don't care what anybody says. So,
And I'm not questioning anybody's motives or,
Yeah, no,
or
I know.
anything. I was just wanting to know, you know, what it was. Was
You
there?
got the same salary we do, so we understand. Say what?
I had a question. I think it was last summer, I got to attend one of the water board meetings, and there was some discussion about tapping into Possum Kingdom to bring an auxiliary source of water to,
that's being studied.
sir?
It's currently being studied. We authorize our engineering firm to study that and give us a recommendation.
How much did you budget for that?
$30,000, I believe.
I just said that. I knew what it was, yeah. That study is $30,000, just to study it. Can't wait to see what it costs to actually do it.
Yeah, and the cost per mile to hook up.
Well, I gotta go back to what you said. I missed what you said about base water is only $5 or something.
Increase.
Okay, I didn't hear the increase part.
$5 if you only use the 2,000 gallons every month. It's with the trash rate going up to, it's $5.98 a month increase.
I'm just making sure we got that
Yes.
increase. I didn't hear it the first time around, and somebody may be listening, I heard that. So, boy, water bill's gonna be $5. Okay,
Need a motion, right?
yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 25-926, amending the rate and fee schedule with the addition of the extra receptacle pricing being added to section 1300-2.
Second.
Motion Tom, a second Michael J. to approve ordinance 25-926 with the addition of the cost of residential, extra trash cans for residential. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 7, is discuss consideration to remove Leslie Zander from the First Financial Bank resolution and award the powers she held to the city manager of Savannah Fortenberry and to finance director Lindsay Ward.
So this is, the bank is requesting us to do this in order for Lindsay and I to have the same access that Leslie had. And obviously with Leslie retiring, that's why.
Was Leslie the only one that had that before?
Yes.
Why is that?
I don't have an answer.
Okay, we just,
I don't know.
was anybody else on it before, just we never updated it, or do you know?
Do you know that answer? I don't, they only said Leslie, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I got a notice from the bank to come by and sign something that just reminded me
Those are the new bank accounts
of
at
the new bank.
the court
account.
and Texas Water Development Board.
Okay, I was just curious. I underlined both of y'all's names because I was curious. Because what Leslie can say, it took 2 to replace her. Is what
Yeah.
she can say.
There you go.
All right, entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve removing Leslie Zander from the First Financial Bank resolution and to award the powers she held to city manager Savannah Fortenberry and finance director Lindsay Ward.
I'll second.
Got a motion, Michael J. and a second, Tom, to approve the updates to the First Financial Bank resolution. And any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. City manager briefing. What is city manager briefing?
Okay, so we're currently in the review process for changes that were discussed last month. I don't have an update on that yet, but when I do, hopefully that's you'll approve them and we can continue with those changes. Engineers created a punch list for the final review of the already completed street work. The contractor will be going around to address those and complete those items.
When are they doing that?
I don't have a date when they're doing it yet, when they're completing them, but the punch list was created and given to them last week. So probably soon.
Okay.
I can find an exact date out and let you know. The buyout, there's not an update with that. I was able to contact the property owner that they were still waiting on information, and he said he would get in contact with Langford and get that to them. TWDB flood infrastructure flood grant, contractors have installed approximately 5,100 feet of pipe and are continuing to progress. They're down by La Quinta and over by the cemetery, so they're working both ends to meet each other.
What is the percent completion of this project? Do you have a number? Do you have an idea?
No.
So they gotta go from the cemetery to La Quinta, is that all that's left?
No, they gotta still come back this way in town.
Okay, what are they, they're La Quinta and the cemetery?
Mm-hmm.
Just give me the path. Well, they've gone from La Quinta to the cemetery?
No, they went back over to La Quinta, and they have a crew working in that area coming back towards the cemetery, and they have a crew that's going towards the cemetery down by Lago Vista.
From where?
Lago Vista, towards the cemetery.
So they're going this way and this way?
Yes.
That's odd. Okay.
Probably doing a lot of their bores and stuff.
Okay.
Underneath creeks.
But we have 5,100 feet, a lot.
It is. I'll get your percentage.
Well, I mean, it's what they think. Do they have an estimation what's going to be through? Do they have any information?
I can find that out.
Okay.
Sidewalks from TxDOT. I called to talk to Jordan at TxDOT, and I haven't received a response back. They're still working in Ranger, so I'm assuming they're not going to be over here till that job's completed, and weather and everything else held that job up, so they're behind. Wildfire mitigation update. We received the skid steer and both trailers, the gooseneck and the enclosed utility trailer. We received those. The trucks are scheduled to be delivered after Christmas, so I'm assuming after the first of the year. And there's been a delay in the body shop with receiving parts as originally scheduled to get those. You'll notice that crews, in your updates I've sent you, crews have been working in the area of East Commerce and down around the Leon River with the bridge and cleaning both sides of that.
Yes.
And then they'll continue, and they're going to go back behind the auto body shop on Main and get back in there and start cleaning some of that brush out. So you'll notice a lot of different.
Looks great.
Yeah, it does. It really does. They've done good. You'll notice a lot of different stuff. Now that we're actually getting our equipment, we're able to do more than what we could, which is chainsaws. Polar plunge. Oh, and on top of this, there will soon be an ArcGIS will have a map where I can actually display and show you what's been mitigated and what hasn't and where we're at with the project. That should go live after the first of the year. Fingers crossed everything is right on there. And then we can start putting our data there and linking it for public to see and know where we're going and what we're doing. The Polar Plunge is January 10th, 2026 at 10 a.m. T-shirts can be purchased for $20 and nominations can be made for $25. Proceeds from T-shirts and nominations go directly back into the pool. We need to buy tables. We need to get like a different stuff that no longer operates. We need, and so this is a way for us to create something for the community to do and also help.
What's
fund
the
some of those.
nomination for $25?
You would like to nominate like Tim Pitts or Sean Brightman to go down the slide. You pay $25.
Do they have to go if we nominate them?
They do unless
Yes.
they want to match your nomination and get out of it.
Can you double down if they try and match your nomination?
I'll pay $100 not to do it.
That's no fun.
You can just put that down right now, Larry.
I've been told I don't have a choice. And my wife said, "No, they can't nominate Peter to the city." She said, "If somebody nominate me, I'm not doing it. They don't have enough money." She said it takes 7 figures for her to do that. Get ready. I'll pay that just to watch y'all do it.
Bring 2 canned or dry food items for your ticket to slide into the new year. So if you want to slide, bring 2 cans or 2, dried food ingredients. These items will be donated to the Eastland County Food Bank. We think it's important that they get this after the Christmas holiday because they get a lot of help through all the holidays, and then after they're kind of just left. And so hopefully this will help replenish what they've given out. And Leslie's not here tonight, but I was going to tell her congratulations on 23 years and leaving us, and she left early. So I'm going to call her out.
Couldn't wait to get out the
I
door,
have
huh?
a question.
Yes.
If we need repairs to the slide, is the slide gonna be safe to go down?
Yes, it will be.
I'm not gonna dim it on the night. Where's that guy that's been inspecting
No.
that slide?
We have our sticker for this year. It was inspected for this year. Not the upcoming pool season.
Okay. Any other questions for the city manager? Thank you very much. It's going to be funny that the buyout program is the last thing done and it was the
It's
first thing
horrible.
started.
It's horrible.
Okay, who do we have up next? Compliance, code compliance. We need to go anything there?
No, there was one abatement that we received money back on, so they paid junk vehicle citation for dangerous building, weeds, unsanitary condition, off-street parking, building permit, recreational vehicle prohibited use, and setback violations. And then in your packet, you have your case is open and case is closed. You will see 301 East Wilson, and hopefully,
They're not in order, but that's okay.
I see that now.
They're still not in order.
Well, they're ordered by updated, not over here by address. Sorry. I will make sure that that's noted.
New address and then update.
Yeah, last. 301 East Wilson is one of those that's listed on there multiple times. Hopefully that will soon be resolved. And we've started to receive some compliance and cleanup happening there.
By the homeowner?
Correct.
Really?
Yes.
What problem removed?
Well, they had a warrant issued and they sat in jail. And they got out and came to court and said that they would clean.
Good. All right. Any questions or anything about any of this for the code compliance? Nope. You've got a list of all the addresses, what's open and closed. It helps and lets us know just how big of an issue it is. What about the property out on Virginia? Is that 315 North Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
Still open?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna be fine.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions about the code compliance?
Just to confirm, when it says closed, that means they've complied and corrected the situation, correct?
Not necessarily.
After that go around, then they go back and fight again.
It could be, they complied with that they went to jail and the citation's been taken care of, or they paid the citation and they didn't clean their property, or they did their community service and they didn't clean their property. It can mean many things, but it doesn't mean that the property is
Corrected.
correct. And our goal is not to, we just want cleanup. That's the goal. It's not
To be punitive.
correct.
Okay. Anything else for code compliance? Our deal's out of order. I've got the fire department next. I'm gonna do the police department. I'm not.
And you have an updated police department sheet in front of you. You got a year in somehow.
He just knew the fire department gave us two. He's trying to keep up. Is the new and the, oh, I can see what the difference
Yes.
is already. Okay.
Ready for me?
I'm ready for you.
In November, we answered 274 calls for service, 21 arrests were made, 61 case reports were turned in. We had 47 agency assists, 1,062 business checks, 13 crashes, 14 domestic disturbances, 12 cases were filed with the district attorney's office with 0 juvenile cases being filed in November. 15 open records requests were filled. On the traffic side of things, we wrote 142 citations, 390 warnings for a total of 532 traffic contacts. On the animal control side of things, they answered 228 calls for service, 4 citations were issued, 34 warnings, 15 impounds, 4 animals were adopted out, and 1 was quarantined. We had 3 DWI arrests, 5 narcotics arrests, 6 felony warrants were served, and 6 other arrests were made during that time as well.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at your numbers. Okay. Anybody have any questions for Chief Pitts? Good work, sir. I know you're doing a lot of cleaning up our city, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Brotman, welcome again.
All right, good evening. So the month of November, fire department had 80 total calls for service. 2 of those were building fires, 2 trash or rubbish fires, 2 brush and grass fires, 37 medical assists, 5 EMS calls, 5 motor vehicle accidents with injuries, 10 without injuries, 4 hazardous condition, 1 lockout, 4 public service, 3 false alarms, 1 smoke detector due to malfunction, and 2 smoke detector activations. We had our open house and meet and greet on November 15th. That was pretty well received. We had quite a bit of foot traffic too, and meeting everybody. And then also put together one of the things that I got a lot of questions on, a lot from the public, was about expired medications. And so we put together a little informational brochure to give to citizens if they have expired medications or use needles, how to properly dispose of those.
The fire department will?
We won't dispose of them, we have the information on how to properly do that.
So I thought, can you not take them like to the pharmacy, that sort of thing?
Walmart used to do it, but they no longer do it, and I guess Love Oak used to do it as well, and they've stopped doing it, and they were both sending people over to the fire department.
I believe there's still a location at the sheriff's department.
Oh, yeah.
Who will?
Sheriff's department.
Okay.
We provided some information on how to do that properly according to the state regulations. We just didn't want to turn them away without something.
Yeah, good.
All right. Any questions for Sean?
How's the team like all the new renovations with the department?
It's much better. Living quarters and space.
Great. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. On your municipal court deal, there's
You have a new one.
the numbers down at the bottom, that's a negative 13,226. We're down from last year. On city revenues, state revenues, obviously going to be down at 9231. But that total they had was 4,000 down there is not 4,000. That's a negative $22,457. That's because we have less tickets or whatever's going on in the municipal court. But that's a number that I watch because that's what I would call free money. And I don't know what you have budgeted for that, but that's a big number to be down. Anyway, that is a
You
correction.
should have the corrected one printed in front of you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Might be under your stuff.
Is this it?
Yes.
That's it. That's what I'm looking for, yeah. I've got it. Anything else?
No, sir.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Anybody?
Any motion to adjourn?
Hang on. City council meeting next month will be on a Tuesday because the Monday is a holiday. So it'll be Tuesday, January 20th.
I'll tell you.
What is Monday?
Monday, King Day. So that's it. We have a meeting this Thursday at noon.
Yes.
This coming Thursday. The 18th
Yes.
At noon.
At noon.
at noon. Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion from Tom, second from Shirley. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank y'all very much. Merry Christmas. Be safe.